Zelators, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. In 1969, a historic handshake took place between Julius Nyerere and the Soviet Union. Then everything went cold. For over 50 long years, the deep connection between Tanzania and Moscow sat in the shadows, almost completely silent. Until now, without any warnings, the chess pieces of global power have shifted. The Tanzanian president has stepped foot in Moscow for the first time in over half a century, breaking decades of diplomatic silence. But this wasn't just a courtesy call. Behind closed doors, a strategic maneuver was being executed that should make the entire West incredibly nervous. While the global media was looking elsewhere, the Tanzania administration was quietly drawing up a highly calculated blueprint. They didn't come to the table looking for standard diplomatic handshakes or broad, vague agreements that lead nowhere. Instead, they brought a precise list from heavy agricultural modernization to massive economic expansions. The foundation for a new economic axis in East Africa was quietly being laid. But the biggest twist in this story isn't about oil, gold, or agriculture. It's about something far more dangerous in the modern world: absolute control.
That's great. We're moving from politics to sustainable development.
Madam President, thank you so much for taking time out from your busy schedule to talk to us about your goals and plans here in Moscow and in general, the goals that Tanzania has when it comes to its partnership with Russia.
Thank you very much. Maybe first I should say this is a historic moment. And I'm very thankful to President Putin for giving me an invitation. Talking of Tanzania, it's a country with plenty of opportunities and a great potential for trade and investment. So we're going to explain to the world what about Tanzania, what we have to offer to the world, from natural resources, agriculture, opportunities in health sector, opportunities in data science, many areas.
And this also comes at a time when Russia has hosted several high-level meetings with its African partners. How do you think Tanzania fits into that? You said you're looking to develop business opportunities for your country, of course.
Generally, let me say that Tanzania and Russia, we have a very long-standing history. Russia's nation, which recognized Tanzania as a nation just 2 days after our independence. So we have been having an excellent relation for 65 years now. And it started as political relation. Then we went up to aid, assisting one another in various sectors. But now we want to elevate it into the strategic, sustainable economic development. This is where we are heading. So Tanzania has got a place in Russia. We have a legacy, and that's a strong foundation for us to start working on.
What would a strategic relationship give Tanzania with Russia?
First of all, we have been able to identify areas of priority. There are areas of priority indicated in our National Development Vision of 2050, 2025, 25 years development vision. Fortunately, the same priorities in the development vision are found in the framework which Russia has developed, the working framework with Tanzania, which Russia has developed. So we have identified about 6 to 9 areas, agriculture being one, mining, energy, health, education, digital transformation. This is a very important one.
Exactly, because in March, there was actually an agreement that was signed to establish a Russian hub in Tanzania to promote digital and technological cooperation. Which areas in that are you focusing on exactly?
We are focusing one in e-government, to digitalize our government activities so that we can serve a Tanzanian wherever he or she is. He has to have access to the public service. We want to have the skilled manpower, especially we are now talking of generating, we are talking of a great project, uranium project, which in future we are expecting to generate energy from the nuclear power, which is coming from the uranium. So we want to have nuclear engineers, how to manage nuclear energy, different fields of nuclear science. We want to have those skilled manpower. But apart from them, health scientists. We need health scientists, and these are the areas we are expecting to work with Russia.
So you're looking to cooperate, send people here to learn, go back, teach the local population. We also know, for example, there was also in April the Russian Education for Africa exhibition that was held in Dar es Salaam. We're talking about educational cooperation as part of that. This is what you were talking about. Also, I know that there are workshops for journalists as well. So a lot of things that now we're seeing that Russia, for its part, is offering in Tanzania to build this relationship forward.
Yeah, and that was very successful exhibition. We learned a lot from Russia, and they learned from Tanzania. They learned what we have and what are the gaps. So we are now working on bridging the gaps.
Tell us about what Russia can learn from Tanzania. I think this is an interesting, I'm sure.
Culture. We have a rich culture. But again, Russia, Tanzania is a multidimensional nation. Tanzania has got mining, just like Russia has. But what Russia learned in Tanzania, that we lack expertise. That's a bigger lesson for them. We lack expertise, and we need to learn from Russia. We need the experience from Russia. But again, Tanzania is an agricultural country. But it's not the same way it's done in Russia. So there are gaps to be bridged. Tanzania is a touristic island. We have so many tourist attractions. The major ones and the world-renowned ones, the Mount Kilimanjaro, the rooftop of Africa, but again, Serengeti Plains and Ngorongoro Crater. These are the major ones. But we have the Zanzibar, the brand by itself. And this is where a lot of Russian tourists, they are going to Zanzibar, enjoy themselves in an icy, white sand, white beaches, Zanzibar, It's romantic here. The way you said it's Zanzibar, it's romantic.
Well, maybe more Russians will be going because they're planning to have direct flights.
Direct flight, and starting in July.
Already starting?
It will be starting in July. Air Tanzania will be flying from Moscow to Russia, Moscow to Dar es Salaam direct. So that's going to bring more tourists in Tanzania. More tourists, but again, people-to-people connection. But again, increase in trade and investment.
Talking about trade, I know, for example, in 2025, trade between Russia and Tanzania grew by 20% by a quarter. And which areas do you see that might double by 2030 in the plans that you have ahead?
First, agriculture.
Well, yes.
Yeah, because already we do have some cooperation with some companies from Russia in agriculture. They're producing banana over there. So there will be a great deal of export of banana, Tanzania to Russia. But we have identified other areas like cooking oil. That's another area where we are going to work together in agriculture. But there are some other areas which we will be working together. We have a project of, we call it food security. And food security is for crop production, but also livestock. And this is an area where we also can work together. Tanzania has got big land ranches for livestock, and we can work together with the Russian companies in that.
How easy is the cooperation going?
Working with the Russians is not very difficult. No, it's not. Yeah, we are getting well with them.
What do you attribute that to? The historic partnership, friendship?
Historic partnership, friendship. Russia has supported African liberation. So they have this African development at heart. And we know that Russia really means to support African continent in this development, in the new economic world order. Russia, has an intention to support Africa to develop in the new economic world order.
We are seeing this business separate.
That's great. We're moving from politics to sustainable development.
Tanzania is pushing for a massive, aggressive rollout of e-government initiative to completely digitalize its entire state machinery. Think about the implication of that. In an era where data is the ultimate weapon, whoever helps build and secure your digital infrastructure holds the keys to the kingdom. By moving away from traditional Western tech monopolies and looking in these new digital frameworks, Tanzania is drawing a hard line in the sand. This sends a massive shockwaves across the entire African continent. For decades, nations have been forced to choose a side, caught in the cross line of a never-ending global tug of war. But what is happening right now changes the rules of the game entirely. It is a masterclass in raw sovereignty. It tells the world that the time for being dictated to is officially over. By leveraging a dormant 50 years old alliance to secure modern investment and digital dominance, Tanzania is proving that the only terms that matter anymore are African terms. The global order is changing and the playground is officially closed. Things have changed and it's no longer business as usual. Africans have been dictated to for a very long time, but we are seeing that these days those terms and conditions are no longer happening. We are seeing our leaders trying to be sovereign. She's changing alliance whereby she can have the freedom to decide what she thinks is right for her nation. Like the video about the CIA we heard, we saw that Joshua Mamponga exposes a lot of things about even the demonstration that took place. People who controls everything about Africa always controls the minds of the African and will do things in their favor. But the leaders in Africa are changing. After the visit of the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, to China, they made it clear to the whole world that they are ready to defend African sovereignty because the African has the right to decide who to partner with, who to sell their resources to, and not for people to sit there and still think that the African resources and every decision that we made, they must approve it. So after that, we are seeing that our leaders are trying to revive everything that they are doing. We cannot do the same old things expecting to have different results. It is not going to be possible. Over 50 years, they have finally decided to awaken the spirit that they have. And we are seeing that the leaders are talking about sovereignty, agriculture, owning our digital space, our data. These are the things we are seeing the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso doing because all in all, Captain Ibrahim Traore said, he who feeds you controls you. So we cannot allow people to feed us and still control us in this modern world when we have the best of land. So our leaders are doing everything possible in technology. Like she said, they have resources. They also have something to offer to the world. So it's not like Tanzania has nothing to give to the world. They also have a role to play in the world. They have the resources that the world needs. They are open to business. But now everything is going to be on their terms and conditions and no longer as obeying what other people think is right for us. This is amazing, and unity is the most important thing. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world in Africa, East Africa, and in Tanzania.